welcome to today's video. Today is super exciting because Zen Habitat sent me a new enclosure from their brand new 3.0 line, and it's my first time trying it out, and I had the opportunity to finally upgrade an animal, and I decided Casper was the one that needed to be upgraded. He has been very antsy in his enclosure and climbing all over it, and it seems like he outgrew it. So it was literally the perfect time to make the decision. I didn't think I would have enough space, and I did have to rearrange my entire reptile room for this, but it was absolutely worth it just to give Casper a little bit more space. So he was currently in a 4x2x16 enclosure, which is really good for ball pythons, but it doesn't offer a lot of height for climbing within the enclosure. And for Chaos, Chaos is the type of snake that doesn't climb around too much, but Casper really does. So I really wanted to give him that added height for more climbing opportunities. So this was the perfect opportunity thanks to Zen Habitats. If you are unsure of what the 3.0 line is, so they used to have an original set of enclosures, and then it moved up to Meridian, and now it's 3.0. The difference is basically just the assembly. Everything looks and functions exactly the same, but the assembly is just much smoother and easier. So when they upgraded to the Meridian line, the panels were built into the framing, and then you basically just assembled the enclosure by putting screws into the corners, and that just hooked everything into place. The original enclosure had to bash all of those corners in. It was a lot of work. So the Meridian was a really big improvement. The issue with Meridian was if you had a little bit of damage, because it's built into the framing, it was just a little bit more tricky, and you had to replace the entire panel if one little corner was damaged or something. And it would also slide around, and it would make things a little bit troublesome when assembling. Even though it was much easier, it still had little issues here and there. So the 3.0 line is basically a perfect combination of the original and Meridian line, only it has the price of the original line, which is cheaper, and the assembly is the easiest it has ever been. It is so nice. So now the frames aren't built into the panels anymore. Everything is separate, but you put everything in using the screws. You guys can see the assembly video on their website. It is super, super easy. It was a breeze, and I loved putting this setup together. So I'm going to show you guys the bulk of basically doing the naturalistic background and setting up his enclosure so that you guys can see how it looks and how he likes it. If you guys are interested in checking out Zen Habitats, please do. My affiliate link is in my description. Every time you guys shop using that link, I do make some commission, so I really do appreciate it when you guys use it. It is a perfect way to try and help and support me. So yeah, I'm gonna stop babbling and we are gonna get to the new enclosure. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it.
So the first thing that I did was lay out the back panel and the two side panels so that way I can put the spray foam down to do the naturalistic background. So I got Great Stuff spray foam from Home Depot, and here I am just filling it all in. It's going to expand a lot, so I just wanted to fill it in as much as possible. Here I am carving it down the next day to give it a better shape and make it look more like a rock formation. And then I started painting it with dry lock, and then as you can see, I'm sprinkling some stuff on there, and that is moss and rocks, and I'm putting it on there while the paint is still wet, that way it sticks there. I just like to add it for texture, and I may feel like it looks more naturalistic when I add things like this. I took Lulu out because she clearly wanted some attention, so she got to eat as I finished up painting here, and she got to keep me some company. And yeah, that had to dry for another 24 hours. Here it is afterward. So it requires a lot of patience when doing naturalistic backgrounds because you just have to wait and do a little bit and then wait again. So here I am putting the heat pad on the bottom of the panel and making sure it's the bottom because the two channels right here where the doors go, so that's going to be on the inside. So I had to make sure this is on the outside of the panel. And yeah, I don't think I've ever shown how to put the heat pad on, so people are always asking me how I do that. I got a little distracted by Bowie here because, I mean, look at her. Understandable. And then I had to start putting in the substrate. I had everything pretty much ready. It's just time to put everything in the setup. So yeah, here I am just dumping dirt in. Pretty self-explanatory. This area that I'm wiping down and leaving a spot for is where the heat pad is going to be, and the heat hide. the warm hide. And then here are some sticks that I found outside that I already washed down with Dawn soap. And then I let them dry outside for 24 hours. Actually, it was like a week. They were sitting out there for a hot minute. And then here they are in the setup. I also put in some live plants. Here I am putting in some fake plants into the background, just trying to fill this in as much as possible. This is 120 gallons, so I wanted to fill it in as much as possible and offer a lot of climbing opportunity for Casper because he really likes to climb, which is why I wanted to mainly give him an upgrade because he's like super active in his 4x2x16, so I definitely wanted to give him more space. Here I'm putting in the water bowl and just other hides. I have random cork bark rounds, a little moss hide, just trying to offer a lot of hides because it is a large enclosure. You do want your snake to feel safe, and they feel safe if they have places to hide. So filling it in with foliage and hiding places is the way to go. And here's Casper, ready to go into his new mansion. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little overview of what it looks like. It's kind of awkward because I had to go on a step ladder for this because he's pretty high up. I'm gonna have to go on a step ladder from now on when I need to get inside his enclosure. But here he is. I thought he was gonna just slither inside, but he was just chilling on me. So I had to actually put him down myself to make sure he goes in the new enclosure because he was like, what is going on? So I set him down and I'm just giving lots of overviews here of how everything looks. And now it's time to just let him settle into his new environment. It's probably my favorite thing, just seeing how they settle into their new setup when they start showing some curiosity and sniffing around and moving around. But at first he's nervous and he doesn't know what's going on. So he was kind of just sitting in a ball. Here he is finally starting to come out, which I was super excited to see. This guy is not very timid. He is very curious, so I had a feeling you would love it. Oh, by the way, here is the label I use. It's from Cloud Forest Design. I know you guys are always asking about that. I gave him some fresh water, and that really got him interested, so he was coming out a little bit more, just being his adorable self. And I love seeing those little tongue flicks. He's just checking out all of the new smells in his setup. And this can be a form of enrichment. Just even if you aren't doing a full new upgrade of an enclosure, if you're just adding new things in your enclosure for your snakes to check out, that is perfect enrichment for them because they are using their brain, they're using their senses, they're checking new things out. It's enrichment. It's good for them. And Casper was just being so adorable here. I just love his face so much. He just looked so happy and appreciative of his setup. He was exploring all over the place and really seemed to be loving it. So it just made me feel so much better after putting all of this work into this setup to see a snake that actually appreciates it. So yeah, that is how I set up his enclosure. And it was pretty simple. It took a few days just doing the naturalistic background, but setting this thing up, the 3.0 model is so easy to put together. I absolutely loved putting it together. It literally took me like 2 minutes. So the most work went into honestly just doing the background on this thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I just have lots of clips of Casper just exploring and checking out his new environment here. Again, it's the best thing. I just feel so much gratitude seeing him appreciate it and just check out all of his new hides. And he looks so tiny in here. Like, look how small he looks. He has so much space to be his crazy self now. So yeah, I hope that he likes it. If you guys are interested in getting your own 3.0 Zen habitats, please go ahead and check it out. My affiliate link is below. Every time you guys shop using my link, I do make some commission, so I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about Zen habitats in the new 3.0 line, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing Casper's new setup as much as he's enjoying it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one.